Welcome back. My name is Melissa, and I will be your cosmic guide today. We're going to do a little bit of channeling and talk about the ascension, the awakening, and what's going on in the energies right now, which is very big, very important, and more than words can say. So I'm just going to start with the understanding that many of us are having enormous amounts of downloads going on and adjustments in our form. And our form means mind, body, spirit, soul. In many layers, our forms are having downloads that are connecting in ways that we have not been connected for tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of years. Human beings have been disconnected as we went through the fallen Garden of Eden things and all kinds of gross stuff with the lower darkness matrix. And we are coming out of that in a very large way right now. So it could be confusing, it could be crunchy, it could be exhausting, could be joyous too in some ways. But if you're having any feelings of anxiety or worries, in the last months off and on, especially in the last weeks, or maybe through this weekend, we are coming to a completion of a wave that's really big of releasing and clearing some of the grossest layers of the lower matrix holding onto us and just trying to block us from our awakenings, especially in the divine feminine. So what I mean by that is in all of us, male or female, young or old, people from 1,000 years ago or the future. There are pieces of us in our makeup, in our image of God makeup, that is divine masculine and divine feminine. And the feminine piece in all of us has been so marred and so degraded and so ripped apart over the tens of thousands of years. And right now is a great time. Like, we are going through a spiritual cleansing, an etheric cleansing, and of emotion. What the lower matrix has done to us in our emotion, feelings, thoughts, that's just got us all wonky and distorted. So in every human being, the divine feminine is having a little bit of a roto-rooting going on. And what I always like to say is I ask God, Source, to vacuum away some of the lower energies or things that do not serve the highest good. If we're going to use terms that spiritual people use usually. So I'm going to ask that for all of us. I'm going to ask that all of your guides and guardian angels and God, Source, the light, Creator, whatever words you use, direct you, help you, uplift you in this, whatever is for your highest good, all of us, each one of us, and as a collective. So I'm going to ask that there be a clearing of our throat chakras, of the mass consciousness throat chakra, as well as our crown again, because we have been just cut off from our connection with Source for so long, and so many pathways, so many energy pathways that are just in us. Again, in our image of God, we have the pathways of our own universe in our form. They have been trampled on, bulldozed, just really yanked and pulled down into bondage, fragmented pieces of us, of the collective, of all people who have ever been into the lower matrix. We are becoming free from those things. That's what we will continue to work on. And in 2022, we will physically see this in the world so much more than we ever have. So right now, I'm asking that all of our guides and guardian angels and Source, Creator, God, the universe, the light, cleanse away in each one of us whatever is best for all of us. And I'm particularly saying the throat chakra, and cleansing our eyes from the blindfolds that have been put on us throughout time, throughout history, And I really love this because, and connect us. We deserve to be connected. It is our natural right, each one of us in our sovereignty, to be connected with Source, Light, God, Truth. So our downloads can come in. We can stay stable and secure in the higher dimensions, the higher matrix where we were meant to be. So that's what's going on. I know, big concepts and it's strange, and my words might not fit with everybody, but one of the things that we can know in all these downloads that I've been receiving is that we can focus on ourselves in deep forgiveness. And if there are any distractions, any distortions coming at you, I know many people have been waking up to the fact that they have been targeted, and some of the circumstances, the possibly even the energies in their homes, or places and spaces, and the things that again that have been holding on to us, that just really weren't ours. Maybe we were around the wrong people. Not that they're bad people, just that maybe that we were around the wrong people that distract us from our own pathways and knowing and understandings inside. There's a big wave going on right now where we are going to be activated and fine-tuned to receiving our own knowledge and truth, our own sacred truth, and unbalance, and our divine masculine and feminine balancing and wholeness and coming home, which I always call our sacred union. I've always meant our sacred union inside. And some people call this the marriage of Christ, the bride of Christ. So there's the male, female, and God that makes the Holy Trinity. So that we are cleansing out, especially, not that we're not clearing out some of the divine masculine, but right now the focus is on the goddess energy. Not that there are many gods and stuff like that. There's one God. You are a child of God. You are a spark of God. We all make in the divine image, in who we are, each of us sovereign, unique, exactly who we're supposed to be. We all make up the cosmic image of God that we were created in. Some of us, we would call us starseeds, soul flames, twin flames, mirrored souls, all kinds of stuff are going on in many of the layers. And I'm glad to explain that. I've been watching this for decades. Some of these same processes and phases keep unfolding in very hard, difficult, painful, gross, awful, dark, the darkest of the dark programs and designs of the lower matrix try to grasp onto us as we evolve. So, roto-rooting, vacuuming, scrubbing the grossness off of the walls of us, of each one of us, and as a collective, that's the 411. That's what's going on. So if you feel confused, or if you've been going back into thinking, I know I have off and on, some of the old programs that targeted me, that were embedded in my energy, which might help you, over the many years, were things of unworthiness, things of abuse, lots of severe abuse. And I would just watch them and watch people just go, like, I don't know, it was probably 6, 8, 9 months ago when someone goes, so-and-so's mad you're doing videos. And I'm like, who cares? And it struck me that they had been following the lower dark matrix for a long time, trying to distract me. And although you, me, those people over there, we are not for everybody. But we are having a clarion call to open our energies up as we are being activated, and these downloads keep coming in, to connect in really beautiful ways that we have not felt in, again, hundreds of thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, with our true soul tribes, and recognize the belonging, that we belong here. We are loved. We are worthy. And you are supposed to be expressing in your way. And so if there are people mocking you, for the love of nachos, that's one of the hardest ones that has gone on for me, at least, like mocking and plagiarizing, mimicking. So some of those darker energies, we could call them the Agent Smiths, I guess people are calling them that. So I remember doing that like 20 years ago, going, oh man, this is like the Matrix. There's like Agent Smith coming through people and stuff like that. And now people are awakening and using that term. So I'm like, oh, okay. That really was what it was all along. And they don't know. Some of the people, we can love them. They can be our best friends. They can be our family. They're not really aware. They're just in a different, possibly timeline or different layer of energy. And so it is really pertinent to at least try to only have discernment, but not judge them back and be wildly slinging things. So, all the people are like, fight. This is, stand behind me, Satan, fight. I honor and respect everyone's ideas and the way they do things. I would recommend that this is not a time to just like fight the ancient designs of the darkness. So what? They can think whatever they want. They can do it their way. But you are not here to be controlled and slammed and sideswiped by others. And this is the type of layers that are being peeled away, rotor-rooted, sandblasted away out of our energy field so that the collective can come together in harmony, union, unity, consciousness, because you are the one. I am the one. And it's not a really awesome time to be pointing at someone else and plagiarizing someone else. And I swear to you, I've been so quiet over all these years. I told God one of the reasons that I do things this way, and I'm kind of a colorful person, is I told God, I said, okay, I've done this for a long time. I'm a psychic medium for a long time, since I was a little child, natural born healery, person. It's always been my path. And I said, look, God, look, source, look, guides and guardian angels, I am tired of this. What else can I do? And I want a home. I want to come home. ET phone home. I want home. And so that's what I've been working on, and it has been ruthlessly sideswiped by calculated and energies of the lower darkness. The only reason I'm saying this is not like, oh, poor me, victim. It's been brutal. I think my story has been harder to fathom than most that I know. I don't know. But the light workers, the light warriors, the twins, the soul flames, the soul mates, the soul families, the light beings, the divine, the chosen, the children of God have been kind of smashed, and sometimes the more awakened have been really targeted. We're going to just, remember Wonder Woman had those wrist cuffs, and that she could just choosh, choosh, choosh. Or we can think of Neo in the Matrix, where he finally at the end went, oh, I see how to hold my light, and no longer can bullets, death, destruction, anything else be in my energy field to harm me, mar my divinity. And we might want to be mellow about this. We might want to be a little bit quiet right now. Rest. With no distractions. No other people's ideas or beliefs or views. We might just want to hang out and allow the downloads to unfold in us. Our evolution, our understandings, our sacred truths within us. Our divine masculine and feminine, our sacred unions within us. To balance and level out as we continue to hold the light. And hold up our little wrist cuffs and go, no, Nothing coming at me right now can, it'll just bounce off. And, like, again, like Neo at the end of the Matrix, was like, no. And then he held his hand up and all the bullets fell, and the Agent Smiths, they were all like, oh, And throughout the entire movie of the Matrix, they express degrading, hateful, disgusting, seething hatred for those who were not following their rules of the lower Matrix. So they called them nasty names, and too much, not enough, you're not good enough, I hate you. Seething hatred. And so if you have come across, like, actually for quite a few years, it's been a little bit extra again, I've gone through this phase and this wave in different ways, not really that much different, with people, as we are awakening and pulling piece by piece, fragment by fragment of the collective consciousness of the whole, complete, divine, masculine and feminine sacred union. And it's just been degrading. So sometimes the mocking and the mimicking and the things like that can be really disheartening. And when someone else tries to take your authority and write your script for you, they'll really write it in the lowest possible way, like you don't have enough money, like they're adding things like lack, consciousness, sickness, illness, and I've seen such faces just scrunchel up and go with seething hatred and try to, out of nowhere, try to say, it's just you are this, blah, blah, blah. And I think, what the nostrils is going on up in here? Because I don't think about you that way. I am not thinking about you. I am staying out of your energy, out of your like divine plan. And remember, we cannot read or violate in anyone else's energies. That's kind of a trick of the Matrix. So only pure, or when asked for your opinion or things like that, can we know your karma? Can we know your life script? And many of the timelines are coming together, and all the past lives, all the life scripts, and all the things that have happened before do not define you, but they are coming up to be dealt with. What has not been dealt with in the past for the planet of all humanity, and each one of us, including all of our generations. This is what we've been talking about for years. All of our generations, our bloodlines, our DNA are being cleansed and cleared. So if you think someone is stupid because they didn't let go and act like you think they should, then you do not know what another is going through, or the designs or programs that they're going through. Zip it. Stay out of other people's energies. And just know that the support and the other main part of this is coming into our real unconditional love, which is technically what our human minds can understand as the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the Divine Feminine goddess energy holds. So all the goddesses over in the different cultures throughout time. Can't you remember, like, the goddess of Venus or Aphrodite? What does that mean to you? That is the goddess of love. And Freya of Nordic, old Celtic, old school love. And these are beings. They're real beings. And when they are distorted, they can be real nasty. They are real beings in us. So the goddess energy, the God energy, like the old school, again, what I'm saying is one God, one whole, yin yang, masculine, feminine, creator, one. Unity consciousness, the law of one God. But the God goddess energy, our divine magic, can come through those archetypes. And we are here to cleanse and clear and balance, become whole in those archetypes in ourselves, and hold the unconditional love so that those pieces, all layers of who we are, many, 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 many layers, many, many roles, many, many, many archetypes in us are here to come in the wholeness, purity, balance, and that brings evolution to the entire consciousness, all of humanity, so that we can all become free out of bondage, out of slavery to the lower, painful, dark, suffering, lower matrix. So part of the channeling I'm going to do, which was not what I wanted to do. Again, here's something else. Many, many years ago, I told God, I go, look, I don't care. Fine. I'm really multidimensional. I was born this way. I don't know what's going on. Other people apparently don't have the same ability, gift. And people want it, but it's not the same. So, what do you want me to do? I'll do anything. I don't know. I'll sweep floors. I will paint ceilings. I will take care of people. What do you want me to do? And it always came back to teacher healing stuff. And it's certainly never been about money. It's certainly never been about status or clout. I've had several people go, yeah, I just am around you for status. And it's the light, the frequency, not that I'm so fancy or statusy or anything like that. And I just think that's a really sad thing, because that's a design or program of the matrix to take, bully, misuse your power to harvest souls or harvest energies. And several of the people over the years, and I'm thinking of two in particular in the last years, that said they literally have been trying to take abilities, pieces of energy from others, the light workers, to abuse them so badly, and then reach in and grab their talents, abilities, their purity, their light, their innocence, their goodness. So those things are that will still keep happening some. However, it's lesser and lesser and lesser as we're being fine-tuned, as above, so below. They won't be able to get to us eventually. If we are in balance in the heavenly realms, the Christed realms, multidimensional realms, which we are present and exist in, on earth, in our physical bodies, they will no longer be able to get to us. So I'm calling home any of our voices, our abilities, our energies, our beautiful light frequencies that have been grasped at by lower energies, entities, darknesses of the lower matrix for all these years, and maybe throughout lifetimes. And I ask that God, source, all of our guides and guardian angels and teams, help us work on bringing the fragmented pieces home, or our true divine blueprints and plans of each one of us, and bring us back into that true Garden of Eden, where the darkness or the devils can't get to us. As above, so below. And I ask that we get to have our voices back and our eyes become unblindfolded, so that we see. I always pray for a whole bunch of years that I see with eyes of Christ, so that I am not making a mistake or using my my human mind to ask for it to be my way. And so I am just asking that for the collective and each one of you, whatever you want, and clear our crown chakra as our royal lines. And that means a whole lot, are being cleansed, cleared, and in big ways. And each one of you, all of you, that are holding on to the light and working on yourselves in whatever ways that means, whatever ways that are best for you, are making a big, big difference for all the rest of humanity. So I thank you. And from my heart to yours, thank you, Soul Tribe, for being you, I see you, I recognize you, and sometimes we have to be quiet about that. We recognize it in others, but we can't linger or stay too long. Coming out of this next wave, or these next parts of the phases of awakenings, we will get to reunite or come into balance and meet some of our just perhaps true loves of all lifetimes, friends, family, and loved ones, our soul tribes, families. So 2022 will bring a recognition, because we're having all the downloads that are unfolding into our code, like new codes coming into us, as the old codes and the lower matrix pieces that have been grabbing onto us are released, cleansed, cleared, transmuted. All of those words are correct and true in every layer of our being, and we can now start understanding, and our gifts can start unfolding more and more and more. And then we recognize we had to be blind, we had to be quiet, we had to just mosey along and sometimes take the least, be last in line, so we could get to this point in that heaven on earth, above so below, be it below, time. And this is a really big phase we're going through, of recognition. I don't even really want to say all this stuff, but I hope it helps someone, because now, not cocky, not egotistical, not gross like they have been toward us, but in a way that is respectful and honorable, and as we regard all other living things, all energy here. We can stand together, all different kinds of people, connected in that unity consciousness more than ever. And that will continue. But this wave is a little bit barbaric. So if you've been confused, feeling bad about yourself, hearing those old tapes that have been just over and over, no one's going to love you. I remember people saying, no one will ever love you. You can't have a boyfriend. No one will ever like you. And whatever they could say about my body, my face, especially from, I had the boyfriend that I knew for a long time, was just going, and he's just deceptive, lying. Really? Do you think I didn't know? And he would say, my family hates you. My family hates you. They hate your face. They hate your body. Oh, people from, again, from where I grew up, people from school hate you. And I could tell that he was doing things to try to break me down and reach in. And he actually admitted it several times. I caught him lying, and I would just sit there and watch. I'm sorry, this is so funny. I mean, it's not like I needed a fight with him. He's argumentative in his own self. It's a little bit funny. I'm sorry. Sometimes some of these faces are ridiculously funny. However, so painful and cause so much suffering. And I kept saying to him, for years, I kept saying, you have hurt so many people. When you think you might want to not be in that program? And he would do everything to try to trick me. And then these other people, he had a different story to trick them. And these other people, and it was just like it, but he always kept degraded people's bodies. And it just came out in a real ignorant way. And then his family started saying like, we made them feel that way. And I thought, oh my goodness. And he parent all generations. And I thought, well, I know why I'm here. And it was to go back to my very beginning of this lifetime in me. So not to just, put him down. Whatever he's going through, I really don't know. I don't even know it all. But for me to go back to my beginning, to find out what breakages, suffering, pieces had happened to me from the very beginning in my own story, which not a single person has come even close to. I'm around psychics and live in Sedona and all those things, and get to travel and get to have the coolest job ever. psychic medium, healer, light worker person. Not a single person caught on to what I was here in my purpose to heal in myself, and didn't catch it at all. So sometimes we are in our own rights undercover in ourselves until we can figure out for us. So mine was, oh, poor me, I'm scared, things like that. So, I mean, I can make fun of myself too. But it was just right. All the people and all the places and all the experiences were just right for me. And I send out great gratitude and peace and forgiveness, and kind of glad some of y'all didn't like my face or and whatever it is, y'all can keep working on degrading me or thinking you know more or stronger or misusing whatever it is. I stand next to you anytime in the light, anytime. And the only reason I'm telling my own personal pieces sometimes is so that perhaps in a mirror that you can find for yourself any piece of, hopefully not so loud and crazy, pieces in yourself that are coming home and are knocking at your doors that have been closed down, your pathways, your gateways that are coming home, that have been beaten down or confused or in that computer program simulation designed to keep you blinded, quiet, squished, last in line, punished, all those things. No, thank you. Those pieces are coming back in wholeness to each one of us, again, so we can stand together. Divine masculine and feminine, all races and all tall people and short people and all people throughout history, and everyone in their sovereignty. The fragments are coming home, have been coming home, and to be dealt with, the things that we did not deal with throughout history, so that they can all come back into us in wholeness. And the divine masculine and feminine, the yin yang, can come home for all of humanity, past, present, future, above, so below. We're evolving. I did not really do any channeling, but I'll do another video here in a little bit. I'm sitting in a public place and the police have come to sit this twice. They're stopping people though on the road up over here. I've seen them stop a couple people. So I have some cards here. I have the Prism Oracle cards. Prism Oracle. And because we're talking about frequencies and programs and things like that, well, here we go. I had these out because I love colorful. So 2 fell out, and the first one I got was trust. And I think that's really good right now. So overall, in every way, to pull ourselves back into trust in our hearts as our cosmic heart, meaning our hearts, healing, connected with one source, one heaven on earth energy, divine. If we can keep pulling ourselves back into trust and knowing that everything is going as it's supposed to be going, even if it certainly doesn't seem to be so, and we cannot have any explanation for why it has not been easy. If we can bring ourselves back into the trust of whatever ways you do this, God, truth, the light, divine. How about this? The molecular structure of love, if you're scientific. Goodness, salt of the earth, goodness. And the earth is here to nourish us, nurture us, our every breath, our every step, inside and out, seen and unseen, help us align in the light of God, in our ascension and our awakening. So this is this phase of the awakening. And if you want to, you can say prayers for the divine feminine and ask for your guidance, however you do things, angels, the light, our star families of pure divine light, and you'll see yourself progress in ways that you couldn't have imagined. Pull yourself back into trust. And there's a certain feeling we get inside, just a peace and knowing when we are receiving the correct or the right energy that we can trust in, that's not false light, that's not confused, distorted. We just step right back in that as much as possible so that we become stable in the pure divine light within ourselves. Come home in ourselves and keep being yourselves. I always say your rock star seed selves, your rock star self, your own unique you is just right. And I thank you for being that here in this world, in this confusing, scrunchy, crunchy place, while we are balancing and coming into that heaven on earth, so that our children and grandchildren can look back at us and go, God, humanity was like schizophrenic and grody, and them have no understanding of sickness and suffering, losses and lacks, abuse, things like that. And they have stability and security and peace. Almost like that movie, what's it called? Avatar. You know, when they went to the other planet and they became their avatar selves, and they interacted with the locals, and they went to that tree of life, that glowing tree of life, right? We are trimming and balancing our own tree of life here on earth. And so our collective consciousness and our minds and beliefs can kind of be like that place, or whatever utopia, nirvana, blissful place, Shambhala, that is inside of you. And the people, they had some hardships and stuff like that, but they didn't misuse their power or harm another. Where it seems like maybe humanity didn't catch that this last go, and we're coming into that to that space where we are kind of living in our own avatar movie, where we recognize those shadows in ourselves. Our royal lines are being cleansed so that we can come into that utopia, humanity's utopia as it's supposed to be, nirvana, bliss, peace, serenity, as well as remain our sovereign selves and unique, beautiful selves. Kind of like in the Avatar movie. No, maybe we might want to watch it. There's some cool movies or signs in the music and everything going on lately that we can kind of go, oh, and then we catch a little bit. It's part of our downloads, by the way. It's part of our ways of understanding downloads. Which are, let me just say it again if I didn't say it very well. The downloads that are happening to all of us are our true connection with God, Source, the light, that brings us an awareness and an awakening and fine-tuning to all of the knowledge and truth and understanding throughout history and time that we forgot or has been beaten out of us by the lower matrix darkness over the last tens of thousands of years. Our gateways are being activated over and over and over. We've been talking about this. Spiritual people have been talking about this for years. And the cleansing of our balancing, integrating our shadows has been going on for a long time, and we just think, oh, well, we should be over it. I've had people, lots of clients go, well, I did a couple of clearings. I should be fine forever. I'm like, okay, maybe they are. But humanity as a whole got a little work to do, and it's been hard, and it comes out in each one of us in different ways. We don't know what it's like for the people next door or the people across the world, but it's coming out in different ways. We're working on different frequencies, systems, designs, But in each one of us, we're being activated and fine-tuned so that our own personal gateways to the light, so we can start flowing again in pure divine harmony and in unity consciousness, has been activated, reactivated, evolving, and we're balancing our own shadows, as well as the collectives, the world, and the universe's imbalances. So I get to do channeling a little bit later. I think I'm going to go to another one of my places that I love a lot here in the area, and do the channeling part. But the second card that I got for us, the completion of this talk, which I hope is helpful. I know it was really long, is success. Look at the sun and the rainbow. So some of our signs, if you've had like signs that sunshine, rainbow, just know this is just the signs are going to keep coming, and there's no need to fear. You're doing really great. And if we can focus on the successes, I am also seeing in this time period for several months, I kept going, oh my God. All of our dreams throughout this lifetime. Think about it. When you were 5, 15, 20 years old, and for us youthful, but a little bit older people, when you were 30, 33, 40, 44. And now, wherever years, numbers you are at, all of the dreams or inspirations that you've had throughout your life are going to come together. I keep feeling for myself. I'll just tell you about how it works for me. So hopefully it can help you. I've always been musical. I've always been colorful. I've always been art. That's pretty much it. Art, creativity, that's it. Some of us starseeds we're just, the logic and the rules and the uptight of this world just doesn't make sense. So if you have some starseeds, kids, young and old, if you're trying to tell them how to be in the rules, this is that doesn't help that much. So good luck. Perhaps you could say, oh, and come from possibly a place of what they are perceiving, instead of trying to force what your perception is upon them. So over the years, I've only been artistic, music, color. Some of the time restraints of the world just didn't make sense. But I did the mundane, I did the hard work, and all of those things as well. Just like you, just like me. And all of the pieces that we have been inspired or drawn to or nudged toward are coming into alignment, so that perhaps heaven on earth creation, we can build businesses, lives, careers, homes, with people and surroundings and energies that support our dreams, nourish us, instead of taking away, tripping us, or blocking us. It wasn't too long ago that someone said, at work, someone said, oh, we've been blocking you so that you can do this, something about my career, my business. And I went, you said this wouldn't happen again? You said, and they just went on and on. I went, so I had to take care of myself and do things myself. It wouldn't matter what I said, that their projections, their ideas, their twisted something, so-and-so, had nothing to do with me, but yet it was all directed at me, and someone just admitted to blocking me, and so-and-so's done that for a long time, and I thought, again, stay in your own lane, do not violate other people's stuff that's also being taken care of or addressed at this time. And so if you are still feeling just confused and distracted, just know that we can hold on to those dreams, those pieces of us, our frequencies about us, doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. And hold that success and that light in it, because that is the truth. And know that you are loved. Look at that. As above, so below. There's that cosmic heart. And then infinity symbol that we're cleansing out for humanity and for each one of us. It's so easy for me to say trust. Trust that it's all okay. Don't look. My guides always tell me, don't look back, don't look at those people, don't look. I have a hard time in that sometimes. And some of those programs in me makes me want to go, what? Maybe what? And look over here at something else, or believe in the old beliefs and systems that we've all been in. And so part of my divine guidance has been, don't look at others, or unless you can feel the unconditional love and support, do not look. We are all going through it. We are doing this together, even though it feels real separate. And part of the old matrix, part of the ick, was the separation, isolation from our wholeness, from our sacred union, from our twin flames and soulmates, soul families, from where our belonging is coming back online. And just know those downloads are going to unfold. You'll start understanding them more and more. Your gifts and abilities are your natural divine rights.